Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. In this verse of Ashtavakra Gita, Ashtavakra tells us all. A fool develops aversion towards his or her possessions sometime, but a wise man has neither attachment nor aversion to worldly possessions because his or her attachment to this mind body complex has already vanished. This is a very simple but interesting verse. There are some incidents which will prove this point of Atthavakra. The international fugitive and criminal Charles Shobraj has a mother who has gone on record saying that her son always wanted to be where he was not, and that he always wanted to possess what he did not have. That means that Charles Shobraj was not happy and satisfied with whatever boon God had already bestowed to him. He had a good mother, good sisters, good brothers, a father, though he was adopted, he had adopted him, and this man had a French embassy job. Even then, Charles Shobraj, despite the love, affection, and devotion shown by his family, was averse to these people, and he wanted to be with his real father, who was Indian and very, very wealthy and settled in Vietnam. That man's name was Harchand Shobraj. Shobraj felt that his Indian father had a lot of wealth which he was likely to squander away on his wife, his wife and daughter of the second marriage or third marriage, and his first genuine Indian wife. Hartin Chopra had one genuine Indian wife who was in Pune, plus he had a third wife in Vietnam who had a few daughters. Chopra felt that man will give away all his wealth to these people. And so Shobraj was very angry and averse to whatever he had already got: a good father, adopted father, a good mother, and a good family, plus his father's decent income as an embassy employee. This shows that Shobraj was totally materialistic and stupid, and so he was averse to what he had already got, and he was attracted towards what he did not have. God gives you what you deserve and not what you covet. Please remember this all your life, and then you will be happy. It happens even in our life. If we have done our schooling, we want to be graduates. If we are graduates, we want to have a professional qualification. If we are professionally qualified, we want to do the MPhil, PhD, etc. Or we want to change subjects. If we got a job, we want to change it to a higher income job. This greed for more and more never vanishes in every common man who identifies with himself or herself with his or her mind body complex. They get entangled in this vibe of material universe. They don't want to compromise. They feel that they deserve better. This is what creates all the tension in this miserable universe. People who were happy with a cycle and were in love with the cycle now want a two-wheeler. They develop an aversion towards cycle because it demeans their social standing. From bike, they want to graduate to small cars, then bigger cars, then limousines, then sedans, aeroplanes, ships, etc. They want not a tiny house but a flat, then a building, then a bungalow, a castle, everything they want. The greed never stops. Businessmen start slow, but those businessmen, if before the business is fully developed, they die and bequeath it to their children. The children initially are happy with what they have got, but soon they develop an aversion for that because it is not earning enough income. They want to expand, diversify, and they get interested in other businesses which are paying more, not knowing that it is very, very important to know about a particular business. Sooner or later, they get into some trouble which lands them in big trouble. There have been several instances of genuine looking businessmen who were initially very genuine, but their greed forced them into some line which looked paying and sweet in the beginning, but which ended up in trouble. Such foolish persons are not satisfied with what they have got legally and genuinely. But a man who is self realized and who has stopped identifying with himself and herself, with his or her mind body complex, and who thinks that he or she is just a soul, develops a detachment towards this mind body complex and thus to this material universe. In that case, they have neither attraction nor aversion towards anything in this world. They are not bothered if they get a cycle or a bike or a car. They are satisfied with what they get unasked. They are happy. They are happy thinking about God and about trying to be a servant to Him. You are not Brahman. You cannot become Brahman. You are Brahman. You already are Brahman, but because of the dust of ignorance that is covering the mirror that will show your Brahman, because of that you feel that you are the mind body complex. As soon as you remove this dust of ignorance from this mirror, you will see a reflection of your own, which is the true Brahman. Self-realization starts there. We all should remember this. We should identify with the soul and not the mind-body complex, which is ever-changing and always entangled with the five senses, the five sense organs, and the five evils that every living entity suffers in this miserable universe and which leads him or her towards karma and destiny. People get entangled and confused here, but yet they feel comfortable there because they don't want to take that giant leap into the spiritual realm and the spiritual world, which is not only infinite but it is also blissful. Kindly remember this and please act accordingly. We are Brahman. We should think about self realization, deliverance, and nirvikalpa samadhi, that is, thinking about God all the time. We should not get entangled in this miserable universe. Till my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.